I enjoyed it enormously. I mean, we knew we had a great story, and a true story, something that was factual. And we worked very devotedly. I mean, after the subject was bought, the book was bought, the film rights, we had 2 years of preparation to get that film going. Not only with the script, but all the special effects had to be worked out, because you couldn't go around blowing up dams. So it had to be done with models, and if that didn't work, we didn't have a movie. But after a lot of trial and error, the dams' explosions seemed to work pretty well, and we went ahead. And the director, Michael Anderson, I loved working with him, and he had a very strong vision of what he wanted to do with that film. For example, he was determined to shoot it in black and white because he wanted it to be documentary, and he felt that a colour film would have prettied it up a bit and would have undermined the seriousness of the mission and the story in general. And also because he wanted to use some early shots, film shots, of the early experiments with the bombs when they kept breaking up and that sort of thing. And of course they were in black and white, and we couldn't have used them in those days in a colour movie. So hence it was made like that. But it was a wonderful team. We had a super team, from the director through to the cameraman and all the people involved. We knew we had a good film. No, there was, as far as I can remember, as far as I know, there was absolutely no antipathetic feeling about it at all. In fact, most people were pleased to see that story screened. And I think that also it highlighted the sacrifice that a lot of people made in wartime. It didn't glorify war, but it certainly showed how a lot of people involved in the services, in the forces, had a pretty rough time. And I think people were very proud of it indeed. And as far as the actual dam's raid is concerned, it makes me furious now when I read of twitty people who start denigrating it, saying, was it worth it, did it achieve? And it certainly did achieve a lot. We don't know what the whole plan was, what the major object was, whether it was thought that possibly this would totally destroy German industry. But it didn't do that, it didn't destroy it. The raid itself didn't destroy German industry. I can't believe it was ever meant to, but it certainly hampered it. And it had other effects as well. It was a devastating blow to German morale, right there in the heartland of Germany, to have this raid. And it was a terrific booster to British morale, which in 1943 was not at its best. Things hadn't been going too well with us in the war. And then, in addition to that, they certainly repaired the dams themselves. They didn't repair the factories all that quickly, but they had to repair the dams. They had to bring huge numbers of the Todd organization workers who were building their German western coast defenses against our forthcoming D-Day. They were taken to repair the dams, which meant that the coastal defenses were put back a long time, and were not completed, which obviously had an effect on D-Day and helped us to break into France on that occasion. It had a huge effect. Unfortunately, it caused the death of 56 air crew members, but I would think any one of them would have said, well, it was worth it, because that was their job anyway. Yes, it is. I mean, apart from reviews don't matter all that much. I mean, the people who saw it, the effect it had on audiences was marvelous. And, of course, there's the Dam Busters March, which is still played, and it's very nostalgic. It's an exciting piece of music.